Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm going to be making a couple of cards with the Simon Says Stamp October 2017 card kit called Brush Stroke. And I'm just going to be making a couple of A2 size cards. I've already got my bases made out of Neenah 110 pound Solar White. And this was the first piece of paper out of this pack that just really jumped out and inspired me. So I'm going to take that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this beautiful dark navy as my first layer on my card. And I'm going to cut it to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I'm going to take this and cut it down to 3 7/8 by 4 7/8, and then I'm going to take that and cut 3 individual panels out of it, 1 5/8 inch tall. So I will do that cutting and be right back. Okay, I got all those panels cut, and so that's what they look like together, and then I'm going to separate it like that, so it'll be a continuous pattern, but it'll have the blue in there as well. Alright, so here's a piece of the blue that I've got scrap from where I cut that off. I'm going to use some white embossing powder. And I dropped my stamp set. And I'm going to emboss one of the sentiments from this Brush Stroke Messages. I think I'm going to do the You Are Loved. And I'm just going to rub it a little bit and get all the manufacturing goo off. There we go. Looks straight. Alright, take out my embossing buddy pad, give it a good powder down, and ink it up with some VersaMark. Since it's a new stamp, I'm just going to do it one more time just to be sure that we're all good. And I've got some Ranger Superfine Detail White Embossing Powder. Bring in my little catch tray here. And I'll go heat set that. Okay, here it is, all heat set and everything. It's cooled off, so I'm just going to rub off all that extra powder. And I got this at my local craft store not too long ago. I haven't used it yet. As Rachel Ray would say, it was cheap and cheerful. So I'm going to try it out now. Cutting out. There we go. It kind of snaps into place, which is good. It keeps it together, so, but kind of a learning curve. All right, I do want to trim it a little closer. And this is actually why I got this, because on my big trimmers, it's hard to trim little things, and so I thought this might come in handy for trimming little things like this. Okay, let's see what we got. Here we go. Let's see if it might trim just a tad off this other side. works pretty good. I like that. I think that was like $2.99. So cool, I like it. Alright, so now we got this. Let's tape these things down. Whenever I'm doing something like this, I like to do the top and then the bottom panel, and then I know that I can just center this one, and so it makes it much easier to get your spacing correct. Now this, let's see, should I do a dovetail or should I just do like a slant? I think it may be a slant. I think I'm going to cut this off just a tad more. Kick it over to all the way to the end. Okay, let's glue that down. Okay, now let's look at doing the inside of our card. And we'll bring back in the Misty. And let's see here. Let's go back to our stamp set. And I want to say, use this one. Just wanted to say you're amazing. I'm going to use that stamp. And I think I'm going to use this little brush stroke heart too. Alright, let's see about bringing back in some of our paper as well. Got this. Could cut a little strip. Yeah. And cut a little strip of the blue to go next to it. Alright, let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, here are our strips. And I want to just get these taped together real quick. Bring back in our Misty. And I'm going to position this centered between this edge and the outside edge. Alright, got that all melted. It's got such a pretty shine to it. Now back to this, we're going to put Scotch ATG on this. Get this adhered to the front. Yeah, I did leave a little bit of a border. I was wondering why that didn't fit, but yes, I was going to leave a little bit of a border, white border. So that white border and the white sentiment kind of goes together now. So I was thinking as kind of a final embellishment, I might take the die that came in the kit and some of this pretty rose gold paper and die cut a couple of these out and place them around as embellishments. So let me do that real quick. Okay, got these cut out. I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz craft pick to just knock out these little centers here. I'm going to bring in my tweezer bee tweezers. And in the kit, we got some multimedia matte. So I'm going to use this because if it squeezes out from underneath, it dries clear, so you won't be able to see it. I'm just going to squeeze out a little bit on my craft sheet and then use this little applicator, this little sponge applicator that came in the kit. And you can wash and reuse this little applicator. And it's just for doing little fine things like this die cut. I was thinking about putting one right over that, but then I don't think you can see it that well. I'm definitely going to put one right here at the end of our little sentiment. I'm just going to put an acrylic block on that real quick. Hold that down, let the glue catch. Okay. Alright, set that on there for just a second. Okay, now we're going to take these Nuvo glitter drops, and I'm just going to dab these around. I'm going to do like, I forgot to squeeze a little bit out, make sure there wasn't any air, but I'm going to do like a center for these, maybe these two. That'll be good. And if you want them to flatten out a little bit more, just kind of tap your card from the back, and that'll help them to settle down. Alright, so that's card number 1. So let's set this aside for it to dry. We'll move on to card number 2. Alright, so let's go back to our pattern paper pack and decide what we're going to do. I really kind of like this one on top, and I think we'll play with the brush strokes. Alright, let's use the little hearts. Okay, this time let's make this the full 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 so we can actually see more of the little hearts. And then we'll do this like a 1/2 inch smaller, and that'll give it a 1/4 inch border all the way around. Okay, so let me get those cut. Okay, here we are back with these cut, but I still can't see enough of those hearts. So I think I'm going to do a little something else to this. I think I'm going to take this little scalloped oval, and I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to let it hang off at that edge because I want to see the end of the brush stroke on that. I think I'm going to cut it right there. Okay, I just ran that through my Cuttlebug. Just cut that out. Alright, now what I want to do is line up that sentiment in there, just like that. Alright, let me get my Misty back. Okay, and I'll powder this down. Get out the VersaMark. Back with the Steel Navy embossing powder. I just love the sparkle on this. Alright, I'll go ahead and set this. Okay, here we are back. It's all pretty. And that's going to frame that out just like that. I think I want to pop this piece up off of the other piece. So let's get some foam. And I'm going to bring in my Xyron sticker maker. This is my bag of foam pieces and parts. So this is a pretty good piece. Obviously I can't run it through my Xyron like that, so I'm just going to snip that and crank it through. Alright. Now I just trim off that tail there, turn it over, and crank it through again. Okay, so now I got that piece. Okay, now that that's all covered with foam, there, we got good dimension now that will go through the mail without crushing. So that's good. Okay, so maybe we should put some more of these little flowers on the outside. Okay, got me some flowers cut out with my Cuttlebug. I think it's just going to be 2. Put those on the inside of the card. Alright, let's squirt out some more of our multimedia matte. Alright, I should have did this before I put the foam on, but I think because my foam is solid, I won't have any problems, but I want to put this little heart. Okay, now we've got our little heart on there, we've got our flowers on there. This time, instead of the glitter, I think I'm going to use my Nuvo Crystal Drops in Simply White to make a center on these flowers. And let me just squeeze out a little, make sure there's no air. And I'm going to tap up on the back. See if I can get them to spread out just a little bit more. And I'm going to set this aside to dry. I want to use some of these brush strokes. So we've got on the outside, just wanted to say you're amazing. And why don't we do a thank you? And we'll do it inside over the top of this brush stroke. I'm going to use the Simon Says Stamp Cobblestone for the brush stroke. Probably definitely going to have to do this twice. Take that stamp off. 1, because it's a new stamp, and 2, because it's a fairly solid stamp. There we go. Now, for our thank you, okay, we got that on there. Okay, wanted to finish up this card. Our Nuvo drops are all dry, so I want to just add a little Scotch ATG adhesive on the back of this. we go. Our finished project. Thanks for watching.